Right now, somewhere in your life, there's something you started and quietly gave up on: a workout plan, a study routine, a skill, a promise you made to yourself. And if you think about it, this isn't the first time. You don't have a starting problem. You have a finishing problem, because starting feels exciting. It gives you hope. It makes you feel like your life is about to change. But finishing is where most people disappear. And if you don't fix this, it won't just affect your goals. It will shape your identity. Because every time you start and quit, you teach your brain one dangerous thing: I'm not someone who follows through. This is the story of Daniel. But if you pay attention, it might feel a little too familiar. Daniel was just like most people, full of ideas, full of plans, always thinking about becoming better. Every few weeks, he would get this sudden burst of motivation. He would watch videos, make plans, set goals, create routines. And in that moment, he genuinely believed this time would be different. Day one, he woke up early, worked hard, felt proud. Day two, still strong. Day three, still going. But then something changed. Not outside, inside. The excitement slowly started fading. The same routine that felt exciting now felt repetitive. The same goal that felt inspiring now felt far away. And his brain started whispering, take a break. You deserve it. You can restart tomorrow. And that's where the cycle begins. One day off turns into two. Two turns into a week. And just like that, another goal abandoned, another promise broken, and slowly, Daniel stopped trusting himself. Because deep down, he knew it wasn't about lack of time. It wasn't about lack of ability. It was about consistency, or the lack of it. And the worst part is, every time he quit, it became easier to quit again. Because his brain got trained to escape discomfort, to avoid effort, to choose short-term comfort over long-term growth. One day, Daniel noticed something. His friend Lucas, same environment, same time, same opportunities, but completely different results. Lucas wasn't more talented. He wasn't more motivated, but he was consistent, even on days he didn't feel like it, even when it was boring, even when progress was slow, and Daniel couldn't understand it. So he asked him, how do you stay consistent? Don't you feel like quitting? Lucas smiled and said something simple. I quit every day, but I still show up. And that confused Daniel. Until Lucas explained, motivation got you started, but it won't keep you going. Discipline will. And discipline isn't about feeling strong. It's about showing up when you feel weak. And that's when it hit Daniel. He had been relying on motivation. Something temporary, something emotional, something that fades. And when it faded, he thought something was wrong. But the truth was, that's how it's supposed to be. The excitement always fades. The real game starts after that. Daniel realized something powerful. Success doesn't come from starting strong. It comes from continuing when it gets boring, when it gets repetitive, when no one is watching, because that's where most people quit. And if you can survive that phase, you automatically stand out. The next day, Daniel didn't try to be perfect. He didn't create a huge plan. He just picked one small thing and did it no matter how he felt. The next day, he did it again. Some days were easy, some were hard, some days he didn't feel like doing anything, but he showed up anyway. Not perfectly, but consistently. And slowly, something changed. Not his results immediately, but his identity. He stopped seeing himself as someone who quits and started seeing himself as someone who shows up. And that shift changed everything. Because your life doesn't change when you feel motivated. It changes when you become consistent. Now, look at your own life. How many things have you started and left unfinished? How many times have you said, I'll start again tomorrow? How many dreams are sitting there, waiting, not because you can't achieve them, but because you keep quitting before they grow? This is the harsh truth. You don't fail because you're not capable. You fail because you stop too early. You expect fast results, instant progress, constant motivation. And when reality doesn't match that expectation, you quit. But what if you changed that? What if instead of chasing motivation, you built discipline? What if instead of going all in for 3 days, you went consistent for 30? What if you stopped focusing on intensity and started focusing on consistency? Because that's the real secret. Small actions, repeated daily, beat big actions done occasionally. Every single time. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need to show up. Especially on the days you don't feel like it, because those days matter the most. That's where growth happens. That's where your identity is built. Now, imagine this 1 year from today. There are two versions of you. One who kept starting and quitting, stuck in the same cycle, same excuses, same results, and one who stayed consistent, even when it was boring, even when it was hard, and built something real. Both had the same goals, the same time, the same potential. The only difference was consistency. So the question is, which one are you becoming? Because the decision isn't made in one big moment. It's made daily, every time you choose to show up or give up. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop chasing excitement. Stop restarting every week. Pick one thing and stick to it, even when it feels boring, even when it feels slow, even when you feel like quitting, because that's the only way out of this cycle. And if this video made you realize something about yourself, don't ignore it. Take action. And if you want more real stories like this that don't just motivate you, but actually change the way you think and act, make sure you subscribe, hit like, and share this with someone who needs this, because the next video might be the one that finally helps you break this cycle. And remember, winners aren't people who never feel like quitting. They're people who don't quit, even when they feel like it.